Episode 3 finally delivers. And not just because there's action now. By the end of this episode, honor isn't just inconvenient anymore. It's dangerous. And in one very specific moment, it actually becomes a crime. And the unsettling part is, this doesn't happen because the world suddenly turns cruel. It happens because the system works exactly as designed. The episode opens early, before the noise, before the crowd. Egg is already awake, like properly awake, moving with intention, not just wandering around half asleep. Dunk isn't. And the contrast lands because the show doesn't make a joke out of it. It just shows you the labor. Egg feeds the horses. He does it carefully, checking if they're spooked, checking if they're calm. He cleans gear that isn't his. He practices holding a lance that's way too big for him. He keeps shifting his hands because the weight keeps pulling his arms down. No one's watching, no applause, just routine. And it's routine that costs something: time, effort, bruises you don't get credit for. And the thing is, this isn't framed as cute, it's framed as serious. Egg is trying to earn something. Not friendship, not comfort. A place in this world where people don't get to be included unless they prove it. So he keeps going even when the horse just stares at him like he's an inconvenience. He talks to the horse ignores him. Egg keeps trying anyway. He changes his voice. He pauses, then starts again like he's testing what works. Yeah, that tracks. Because that's literally squiring in one image. You do the work, the world doesn't react, you do it again. And right there, without saying it, the episode shifts perspective. This isn't Dunk's story for a while, it's Egg's. And you feel it because the episode starts caring about what Egg notices. The rules, the faces, the little humiliations. It's not what's the big heroic move. It's what does the system demand before it even lets you stand nearby. Once the tournament starts, the tone hardens, crowds gather, knights line up, banners go up, even the sound changes, more boots, more metal, more people talking at once, and suddenly everything has an audience. And Dunk doesn't fight. Not yet. And that delay is important because it forces him to sit in the machine before he gets to test himself against it. He watches highborn knights take the field. He watches names matter more than skill. He watches how the crowd reacts when someone important enters the space. You can tell because conversations change. People lean forward, voices lower, and the cheering isn't about what just happened. It's about who it happened to. Egg explains how tournaments work. Dunk listens. And that alone tells you something. The guy who wants to be a knight doesn't understand the system. The kid who pretends not to be a prince does. Because Egg isn't learning this as sports. He's learning it as politics with armor on. And the show keeps giving you those little proof points, like Dunk getting queasy, his stomach turning before anything even happens. Not because he's weak, because he's about to step into a world where confidence is currency and he doesn't have any yet. And that gap, that's gonna matter because in this tournament, your skill is real, but your place is decided before you pick up a lance. Later, Dunk gets pulled aside. It's quiet, not secretive, just casual enough to be dangerous, like the kind of friendly advice that's only friendly if you agree. A steward explains the plan: lose early, let someone else look strong, win later. Everyone makes money, and the way he says it is the point, like he's describing weather, like this is how it goes. No threats, no pressure, just logistics. And you can almost feel Dunk realizing that the real contest isn't the joust. It's whether you can live with yourself after you play along, and Dunk gets it immediately. You can tell because he stops talking, he doesn't argue, he doesn't ask questions, he just doesn't say yes. He's not even performing outrage, he's just closing the door. Oh, this is not going to go well. What's uncomfortable here is that nothing about the offer is framed as evil. It's framed as normal. The system isn't broken, this is the system. And it's not asking Dunk to be cruel, it's asking him to be flexible. And that's the real test, because the people who say yes keep getting invited back. And then Aerion rides in. The armor is loud, polished, designed to be seen. Like the whole point is, you don't forget him. Even his horse is costumed, like the animal is part of the performance. His horse is dressed like a dragon, not subtly, aggressively. And it's not just visual, it's a claim. He's telling the crowd, I'm the closest thing you have to dragons now, which is a wild thing to need to prove at a tournament. People react before he does anything. You can tell because heads turn, because laughter stops, because even other princes watch him carefully. and the camera keeps catching those tiny resets. Someone straightens up, someone stops smiling, someone leans back like they want distance. Baylor acknowledges him. Barely. That's not respect, that's management. Like Baylor's already doing damage control in his head before anything even happens. And then Aerion chooses his opponent, not randomly, not fairly. He targets Humphrey Harding, someone competent, someone dangerous, someone who looks like he could actually win if this stays honest. And during the joust, Aerion doesn't just win, he drives his lance into the horse. The horse goes down hard, the knight hits the dirt, the crowd erupts. And here's the key thing, no one misunderstands what just happened. There's no confusion, no accident energy, it's immediate recognition. Egg clocks it instantly. Baylor reacts like he expected it. The guards don't move. Yeah, that was on purpose. Aerion didn't break a rule, he used one. And the fact that he can do it in front of everyone without consequences is the episode basically saying, the rules aren't there to stop power, they're there to organize who gets hurt first. The aftermath matters more than the act. People shout, the crowd turns. But the anger doesn't become action, it becomes noise. And noise is safe, because it doesn't demand a response from anyone important. Aerion stays mounted, unbothered. You can tell because he doesn't explain himself, he doesn't apologize, he just waits for the noise to pass, and it does. Because the system protects status, not fairness, because spectacle outranks consequence, and because even the people who hate him are still calculating what it costs to challenge him. And suddenly, Dunk's refusal earlier doesn't look noble anymore. It looks naive, not because the refusal is wrong, because it's unsupported, it's honor without leverage. And in this world, leverage is what makes right matter. This is also where the episode quietly shows you something else. Dunk is watching this like he's taking notes, not for strategy, for survival, because now he knows what he's up against isn't just skill, it's immunity. That night, the camp loosens up. They're singing, drinking, stories about legacy, and the vibe is lighter, but the rules are still there. You can feel who gets to be loud and who stays careful. Egg asks questions about being remembered, about songs, about whether names last, and he's not asking like a fan, he's asking like someone who's scared of disappearing. Dunk answers honestly, not heroically, honestly. He doesn't turn it into a speech. He talks like a guy who's lived without a name his whole life. Like he's saying, sometimes you don't get songs. Sometimes you just get through the day. And it's quiet enough that you can hear how small the space feels between them. Because they're close, but they're also from completely different worlds, even when Egg is pretending he isn't. Then the fortune teller speaks. She tells Dunk he'll be rich, not in gold, but in reputation. And the show makes that line sting a little because Dunk isn't chasing riches. He's chasing legitimacy. She tells Egg he'll be king, and that he'll die in fire. Egg reacts. You can tell because his voice cracks, because he doesn't laugh it off, because he looks away like he's trying not to be seen reacting. Dunk doesn't understand why it matters yet. And that yet is doing work, because it's the episode reminding you Dunk is learning the system from the bottom. Egg is learning it from the inside. The puppet show should be harmless. It isn't. And the episode sets that up earlier with little reminders. Tansel working on the shield, the crowd treating her like decoration, not like a person with limits. Aerion shows up already irritated, already looking for something to push against, and the thing that sets him off is almost laughably small. A story where a dragon dies. But that's the point. He can't tolerate the image because he's built his whole identity around being the dragon in the room. When the dragon falls in the story, Aerion snaps. He grabs Tansel, breaks her fingers, hard, no hesitation, no warning, and the brutality is fast enough that the crowd can't even decide how to react before it's done. Egg runs, Dunk follows, and when Dunk hits Aerion, it's not clean, it's not ceremonial, it's fast, it's messy, it's the kind of violence that happens when someone stops thinking and just moves. Guards intervene immediately, and this time the system reacts, because now the violence moved up the hierarchy. And it's not even that the punch is worse than broken fingers, it's that the punch is aimed at the wrong target. Aerion threatens punishment, severe punishment, and he doesn't even need to yell, he just says it like he's reading out a procedure. And then Egg speaks, he says his name. The space changes instantly, you can tell because everyone freezes, because no one interrupts him, because the guards shift their attention without being told, because Aerion's confidence hesitates for the first time in the episode. Aegon Targaryen, Prince of the Realm, and the reveal doesn't land like plot twist. It lands like a trapdoor opening under Dunk, because suddenly every weird detail clicks into place. Dunk looks at him like the ground just shifted, because it did. Everything that was tolerated a moment ago suddenly isn't. Not because it was wrong, but because the wrong person got hit. And Egg, who's been watching all episode, has to use the system's own language to stop it from swallowing Dunk whole. Here's the part that messed with me. This episode doesn't say honor is dead. It says honor only survives below power, and it proves it with sequence, not speeches. Dunk refuses the fix, and nothing happens. Aerion kills a horse, and nothing happens. Dunk throws a punch, and everything happens. Not because of morality, because of rank. And the scary part is, you can see how a person gets trained out of honor, not by being tempted with evil, by being shown over and over that honor is unsupported, that it doesn't protect you, that it might actually make you easier to punish. And Egg sits right in the middle of that collision, a kid learning what the system is while pretending not to belong to it, which is almost the cruelest position possible because he knows the rules, but he's trying to live like they don't apply to him. So here's what I want to know. Did you see Egg being a prince coming, or did that hit you out of nowhere? Drop it in the comments. I'm really curious how that reveal landed for you. Episode 4's coming fast. And after this, nothing simple anymore. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.